ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ वर्स 52 कर्तृत्वादीन् बुद्धिधर्मान् स्फूर्त्याख्यां चात्मरूपतां ददद्विभाति पुरतः आभासोतो भ्रमो भवेत्. So what is Chidabhasa that we were discussing? Who is this Jiva? It's a mysterious entity. Chidabhasa is a mysterious entity which has Atma Dharma as well as Anatma Dharma. Then there is nothing mysterious. Something which you make a mixture out of 2-3 things. How can you call it as a mysterious? Swamiji, you may be trying to show your importance of your lecture. That's how it's a mysterious entity. You mix up sugar and something else. And a new entity. What a big thing. It may have a properties of both. So what? Very first thing is, two things cannot be mixed. Atma and Anatma how can they mix? Opposite things cannot be brought together. Somebody says, I am mixing the darkness and the light and creating a third entity. Let the third entity be mysterious. This person is mysterious. So, Atma and Anatma cannot be mixed. Second thing, Atma and Anatma, there are no two entities at all. There is only one entity. When you mix two things have an equal reality. It's a really mysterious. I mean, mysterious means product of Maya. That's it. Through Maya, the whole model, everything in the creation is mysterious. In reality, there is nothing. It poses itself big. Everything. Entire Vyavara of the Jiva, and with whom he does a Vyavara, the Jagat. Everything is this. We are talking about Chidabhasa is one thing. But entire whole thing is like that. Just on inquiry, the whole thing collapses. On inquiry. Nothing exists. That's how we say the whole This Jiva, the Jagat, the transactions, all these things cannot stand inquiry. Cannot stand inquiry. As you inquire, it disappears. Therefore, many acharyas call them as a not logical to inquire. Whole thing, we are going to talk about it. Whole thing is not logical to inquire. So anyway, so this Chidabhasa, which has say Atma Dharma, Anatma Dharma, Kartrutvadin Buddhi Dharman, Kartrutvadin Buddhi Dharman, Anatma Dharman, Kartrutva, Bhoktrutva, Pramatrutva, etc. The doership, the knowership, experiencership, enjoyership, Buddhi Dharman, Anatma Dharman, and Sphurtyakhyam Chacha Atma Rupatam. Sphurti, the Chetanatvam, the sentiency of the Chidabhasa. Chidabhasa is sentient. Chidabhasa is Karta, Bhokta, Pramata. So it's a third entity, as we said, mysterious third entity made of two. So has dharma of both. So the Kartrutva, Bhoktrutva, etc. will belong to Buddhi, the Anatma. And the Sphurti, the sentiency, the Chetanatvam, the conscious, it appears conscious, it is conscious, well, it's due to Atma. Sphurtihi eva akhya sa Sphurtyakya. Akhya, we'll call it, it has a Sphurti, Akhya, the name. Sphurti, it has a Sphurti. Sphurti means a sentiency. Well, it belongs to it belongs to Atma. So this Ahankara is mysteriously appearing as a Jiva. Yeah. Ahankara is purely an Atma, the I thought, the Hamvritti. Ahankara is just I thought. It's a part of the mind. That's how we discuss. Ahankara, Chittam, Manaha, Buddhihi. It's part of mind. It's one function of the mind, let's say. It's a one function of the mind. That the Ahamvritti arises, which is an activity of the mind. That Ahankara appears as a Jiva, a conscious being. Well, definitely, there is a blessing of Atma. So Sphurti basically belongs to Atma. So anyway, and why it appears like this, we don't know. This is how it is. There is no reason for this. Anything which is Mayikam has no reason. If you can find the reason, then there is reality. If you can find a cause of anything, it's a reality. But this is how it is. And as you inquire, it disappears. You inquire, let me find out. Then it just disappears. You find, let me inquire into Chidabhasa. When you find, you pick up the different attributes of the Chidabhasa. And you have to allot accordingly. Well, this Chidabhasa is a Karta. Oh, Kartrutvam belongs to Buddhi. Why? It's a Vikara, modification. Anatma always modifies. That's the job of Anatma. Keep on changing. Constantly changing. Constantly. Kartrutva is a modification. It was not there before the doership. Right now it is there. It won't be there later. It would turn to a knowership or knowerhood. Pramatrutvam. And in that also there is a variation. There is a degree. Anyway, so this is a buddhi. So everything goes. And then if, it is a sentient entity. Then that Atma is sentient. Then, what is left which really belongs to Chidabhasa? Nothing. Nothing. If you don't inquire, well, Chidabhasa, Jiva is a Karta, Bhokta, Pramata, even the whole Karma Kanda also. Oh, what you do, well, accordingly you will get a Karma Phala and this and then Janma and this. So many things. Whole show. Before you go into Karma Phala, Punya Papa and this and that, and then Vidhi Nisheda and do's and don'ts and all, just inquire. One who is addressed in a Karma Kanda, is he really an existent entity or not? That's it. It doesn't exist. What doesn't stand an inquiry is called anirvachaniyam. Mithya. And there in the same manner, the Jagat doesn't stand inquiry. The Jiva also doesn't stand inquiry. Both are product of the Maya. Maya's Vikshepa Shakti. And they pose they are real Avarana Shakti. That's it. This is Ishvara's power, which is as though addition to the Brahman. There is not Brahman plus Maya. There is not Brahman plus Maya. Maya is as though addition to the Brahman. If it is as though addition, well, that is the reason why you can understand that Upanishad is not talking about Maya at all seriously. Brahman is a Karanam because of Maya and this. No way. Pick up any Upanishad, Brahman is a Karanam, they say. Brahma, tasmad va etasmad atmanaha akasha sambhuta. Brahma va idamagra asit. Atma va idamagra asit. Ekameva advityam nanyat kinchan mishat. Aitareya Upanishad begins the story of the creation from Atma, Brahman. Nowhere they say, no, Atma cannot create. There is a second factor called Maya, and because of that, well, it becomes cause. Not at all. If Atma, Brahman, etc. is a cause, then, well, definitely Maya is as though addition to the Brahman. This Jiva Jagat is nothing other than the modification of this Maya. That's it. And therefore, well, this Maya, is plus, but as though. Therefore, everything as though. Modification Maya, Jiva, as though. Jagat, as though. That's how Shastra takes care of putting Iva. That much they do. Iva. Dhyayati Iva. Lelayati Iva. Dhyayati Iva. So, well, or you can say other way, Jiva and Jagat both are merely an adhyasa on Brahman. The same way, you can say that. That is how Shankaracharya ji mentions, in order to make effective Brahma Vidya, Bhashyakara mentions first Adhyasa in Adhyasa Bhashyam. If Adhyasa is understood, Brahma Vidya becomes successful to give you the knowledge and moksha. If you don't understand Adhyasa, Brahma Vidya is not Sarthakam. It is to be understood. Jiva is not Jiva, but Brahman. Then Jivatvam is Adhyasa. Right? Jagat is not Jagat, but is Brahman. Then Jagat is Adhyasa. So this Adhyasa has to be understood properly. It is Mahikam, it is mysterious, it is Anirvachaniyam, etc. Well, it is the same. What it is, well, if you inquire into that, what it is, then the whole thing disappears. Not that you will really get an answer. That's our nirvachani. Okay. Verse 53. का बुद्धिः को यमाभासः को वात् मात्रात जगत्कथम् इत्यनिर्णयतो मोहः सोऽयं संसार इष्यते. So Vidyaranya says samsara is because of a non-understanding of four factors clearly. And we have seen the samsara, various ways samsara can be said. I look upon myself as one who is seeking approval of the world, is samsara. Yeah. I need a certification from others. About what? About who am I? Yeah, I am, for that I don't ask to anybody. But who am I? And especially I am a significant being. I really seek an approval. Please tell me I am a significant being. Okay, Baba, you are significant being. Yes, I am significant. You are significant being. Yes, I am significant. Oh, you are insignificant. You are useless. Yes, I am useless. Seeking approval. That's why morning only I told. Somebody goes to sky. Somebody goes to the bottom of the ocean. Somebody goes to the mountain, climb the mountain. Somebody goes to the very deep, deep into the forest, running here and there to prove the significance of oneself to oneself. Just to prove significance. Why? Why do you prove? Why do you want to prove yourself that I am a significant being? That itself reveals that at whatever level you are, I am insignificant never goes. Otherwise, there is no need to prove. There is no need to prove. The child wants to prove, the young wants to prove, the middle-aged wants to prove, the old also wants to prove. I am a significant being. Nobody cares, Swamiji. I did lot to my family. Nobody cares now. They don't look at me. They don't talk to me. I am insignificant. Never goes. Whatever you do in the world. This is samsara. I am insignificant stems from the ignorance of oneself. In fact, you are the only significant being. You are the only significant being. Well, that's a fact which is not appreciated because of the ignorance of oneself. And well, that leads to sorrow. A non-acceptance of oneself. Everything you can say. Disapproval of oneself. This is a way. Samsara, Janma Maranam, this, that, birth and death cycle. Who cares? Whether other birth is there or not. Who cares? When we should not care. Puja Swamiji used to say always, don't worry about next birth and this birth. Let it come, even if it comes. Between birth and death, how do you perceive yourself makes your life. How do you perceive yourself makes your life. That's it. Not what you have. How you perceive yourself makes your life. Vedanta addresses this basic issue. Anyway, so here, samsara is basically this non-understanding of four factors clearly. If you understand them clearly, then after understanding these four factors continue to be there as they are, but well, definitely they will remain as a entertainment. Illusion, pertaining to this four go away. And that is more than enough. What are the four factors? First, I, Atma, consciousness. Regarding, well, there is no clear understanding. Second, Anatma, the mind, which we generally call it as a, in this context of the Chidavasa, we will call it as a reflecting medium. The third one is now mixture of these two, Chidabhasa. Third one is this, or Ahankara, reflected consciousness. And the fourth is the world, Jagat. When you say the Ahankara Chidabhasa comes into being, you have to say Jagat also is there. Ahankara well dissolves, Jagat dissolves. Or Jagat dissolves, Ahankara won't be there, etc. Anyway, so Atma, the consciousness, suppose if consciousness, Atma is just there, and there will be no Ahankara, no world, then definitely the Atma cannot say I am Atma, the consciousness, I am Chaitanyam, Shuddha Chaitanyam, it cannot say, definitely not. If Ahankara is not there, Jagat is not there, it goes together. If these two are not there, then Atma is still there, but Atma cannot say I am Atma, I am consciousness, etc. So even if for the consciousness Atma to claim that, these two things are required. Reflected consciousness, that is Ahankara Chidabhasa, and reflecting medium, definitely. So, well, that's how in deep sleep state I don't claim that I am a witness. If I don't claim I am a witness, I am not there as a Sakshi even in the deep sleep state. If suppose somebody says so, then how the absence of everything is illumined in deep sleep state. Everything is illumined by what? If Sakshi is not there. Sakshi is definitely there, which reveals even the absence of everything. But definitely I am Sakshi. But Sakshi being still there cannot say in a deep sleep state, I am Sakshi. Why? Well, definitely because this Chidabhasa is not there. Chidabhasa is resolved means definitely if medium should have resolved, Buddhi has resolved, well then means Jagat has resolved. So definitely, so for any Vyavahara to happen, what is required is all these four factors are compulsorily required. Atma of course is required. Then Jagat is required. Then well Chidabhasa is required. And this Anatma etc. The medium also is required. So definitely all four factors are required for the Vyavahara to take place. But of these four, three are Mithya and one alone is Satyam. Well, I, the Atma, the consciousness is Satyam, and the reflecting medium, the Buddhi, mind, the reflected consciousness and the Jagat are Mithya. And one who understands I alone is Satyam, other three are Mithya. For such a person, for an enlightened person, well then the Vyavahara, well, is a continuous entertainment. Why? Because this reflected consciousness medium, they appear, disappear. Jagat also appear, disappear. So they rise, they fall, they rise, they fall. That goes on and until the prarabdha of that person is there. And that's how the whole show, he enjoys the show. When they rise, then he enjoys the show. and there is all. So only thing is to be done in order for the samsara to go, the sorrow to go. Well, what is required is satyandruta viveka, satyamithya viveka in these four factors. So even if there is a serious problem in life, so person need not do anything, because matter consistently changes. So what is there today, will go away. Something else will appear, that will go away. Something appears, that will go away. And like that, prarabdha also goes away. Then of facing different difficult situation, then problem goes away. Because prarabdha definitely is part of this jagat. Jiva, chidabhasa, vyavahara, etc. and jagat. So, when prarabdha goes away, particular type of prarabdha problem also goes away. That's how it is happening, that someone has a certain disease and he shows to many doctors, and he does all kinds of pathis, homeopathy, this pathy, that pathy, everything he does. The disease doesn't go. And the ninth doctor, he gives some simple medicine and then disease goes. He feels that this ninth doctor is the brilliant doctor, and these 8 were all fools. And then he says, this should be my now primary doctor, primary physician. And then something else, due to prarabdha, something else appears, some other disease. He thought, now I should go to that person only. And he goes there, he gives medicine. It doesn't go. That disease doesn't go. So this is what is happening. Anyway, so Vidyaranya says, anirnayataha, anirnayataha. It's a panchami, 5th case. Because of, nirnaya means here a clear understanding. Anirnayataha, because of the lack of clear understanding of these 4 factors in terms of the reality. In terms of the reality, mohaha, there is a delusion. In whom? In entire humanity. Whole humanity has this delusion. And this understanding, clear understanding, is born of what? Shravana mananam nidhyasanam. So lack of a clear understanding, which is born of Shravana mananam nidhyasanam. There is a moha, delusion. Buddhihi, ka. What is that moha? What is the delusion? What is this buddhi? What is this anatma? He doesn't understand. Ka buddhi. What is this buddhi? He doesn't understand. That is how, see, what happens is, Swamiji, people have not understood Brahman, the Atma, that is the issue. But if you understand even Anatma as Anatma, then also the issue is resolved. That's how people sometimes say, I know I am Brahman, but I have so many ragadveshas to remove. Now, how will it fit? We should understand. I know I am Brahman, but I have lots of ragadvesha which I have to yet remove it. That is a mysterious thing. So you have mixed up Brahman and the mind. Ka buddhi, not understood. Ka buddhi. What is the mind, you have not understood, really speaking. But Swamiji, then Atma is understood perhaps. No. Atma is asanga. I am asanga, basically. No connection to the buddhi. No connection to the mind. If that is not understood, that's how you say, basically you place again the, Atma buddhi in the mind. Atma has no connection to the buddhi. Why I am saying this, actually, this is also not true, really speaking. When you say connection, there should be 2 entities. Sambandho dvinishtaha. That's a relation. Sambandha dvinishtaha. At least two things should be there to be connected to each other. If one is there, where is sambandha, relation? But anyway, let's take it that way, that right now we are taking the anatma, the buddhi, etc. as an entity. But so if you say, well, I am Brahman, I have understood, but well, I have so many raga dveshas to remove. So you place the I, the Atma Buddhi in Buddhi. Then you have not understood Atma also, because Atma is asanga, has no connection to anything. That way, I am saying. Anyway, so when dharmi itself is, well, not there, where is the question of a dharma? Dharmi means I am not the mind at all. Then where is the question of the raga dvesha, which are dharma of the mind as myself? But anyway, so mind is so powerful we can't judge. Anyway, so mind has some issue here and there. That's there, but that's the issue for mind. But when you say I have an issue, that's an issue. That's an issue, in fact. That's a big issue, that you consider yourself as a mind. Okay, so this is first. Ka buddhi, that's a moha. I don't know what is this buddhi. Second, koyam abhasaha, koyam chidabhasaha. What is this limited consciousness which is experienced in the body as a sentiency? So chidabhasa is not clearly understood. Like, some person doesn't understand what is a general light and what is this, a vishesha, the particular light, like that. So this chidabhasa is a vishesha. The consciousness which is general, which is all pervading, has been experienced as a life, as a sentiency in the body. So that's a vishesha. So koyam abhasaha, well, definitely he doesn't understand what is this chidabhasa, what is this sentiency in the body, or what is the consciousness in the body. And third is kova atma. What is this all-pervading consciousness? What is this self? Jagatva katham atra. How come world appear in front of me? Atra, here. How come this world appear in front of me? So, existent world can't be negated. Non-existent world need not be negated. So, if I like this Jagat, whether it is existent or a non-existent, I don't know. No, it is existent. If it is existent, where it disappears in the deep sleep state? No, it is non-existent. Then in the waking state you are experiencing. So existent or non-existent means you are not able to understand the nature of it. And therefore, that's how it is anirvachaniyam. It has not been understood. So these four factors are not understood. We say it is mithya. That's how it is. Mithya means what? Myth. You remove ya. Remove ya from mithya word, Sanskrit word, you get an English word, myth. That's how it is. Anyway, so Sanskrit has come from English. Atra katham jagat. So means in me, how does this world appear? What is the nature of world? Iti. These are the questions. Well, these are the questions I don't understand. So that's called moha. Anirnayataha means that's not clearly understood by the humanity. Ataha moha. Therefore we call moha. And how does moha appear in our day-to-day life? Well, all four factors seem to have a same order of reality in our transactions. I am a jiva. I am an individual, conscious being. And there is a Jagat which is different from me, in front of me. I am a small entity, Jagat is a big entity. And then there is a transaction. I am a karta, I am a doer, I am a knower of the world, I am pramata, I enjoy the world, objects, I am a bhokta. Everything is what? Everything is equal reality. This is moha. And not only that, world becomes too powerful and I appear to be very small. World is a victimizer. I am victimized. Who says I am victimized? That's what our complaint reveals. Our complaint is this: I am victimized. And the world, maybe husband, wife, this, that, are victimizers. This is what are you describing? Samsara. Not understanding the reality of one and not understanding the mithyatvam of the other three. Whole samsara comes. All issues. There is no other issue. All our emotional issues are not emotional at all. All are merely intellectual issues. If intellect has an understanding of a reality of this four, there is no emotional issue. That's how Puja Swamiji was looking at the whole thing as a cognitive. It is a cognitive issue. We feel emotions should be resolved, emotional problems should be resolved by, bad emotions, and then should be resolved by good emotions, and this is not at all. Emotional problem is resolved by intellectual understanding. That is why we say, if you have some emotional issue, attend the class. And people do not know the link. People do not know the link. I told you, I think, the example. Somebody said, well, somebody said, if I cut your ears, what will happen to you? He said, I can't see. Swamiji, I have an issue of a loneliness. Attend class. Your class is regarding Atma and this Satyamithya and Brahman and Jagatkar. What is the creation has with my loneliness? Description of a creation has a connection with my loneliness. All your emotional issue has a relation with the topic of creation. Simple description of a creation from Atma will resolve your emotional issue. Really. Only one. We stick to one thing only. Whatever your problem may be. We stick to one thing. Attend class. That's it. Attend class. Panchadashi, Panchadashi. Vichar Sagar, Vichar Sagar. What is this? This is what it is. This is what it is. When samsara is basically, samsara means this. Any issue, any mental illness, the final solution is this: understanding four factors. That's it. Not understanding four factors, your transaction is of one type. Understanding four factors, the transaction is of different type. All your emotional issues have a bearing in a transacting with the world. So anyway, so study of a Vedanta is not a merely an intellectual exercise. Study of a Vedanta is to solve my core emotional issue. If I can't see that, teacher has to make you see. Yeah, you have to find a connection. And there is connection. Not we have to find a connection. It's a big thing. How will I find a connection? It's a simple thing. But my answer at this moment is this: not understanding four factors, a cognitive issue which is called intellectual issue, not understanding what is real, what is not real, etc., will bring all kinds of emotional problems called samsara. Anyway, forget about that now. What is solution of samsara? 54. Buddhyadinam sarupam yah vivinakti satatvavit Saiva mukta ityevam vedanteshu vinishayah. Well, if such a moha is a samsara, the delusion is a samsara, well, knowledge is a freedom from that. Moksha. So, yaha vivinakti, vi plus which dhatu? To separate, to segregate, to discriminate, to distinguish. So, one who clearly distinguishes these four, that this is Satyam, these are Mithya. One is Satyam, Atma alone is Satyam, and what are involved in this Vyavara, called this Chidavasa, the Jiva, and the Buddhi, the mind, and this Jagat, all the three are Mithya. One who distinguishes this Satya and Mithya. Well, Buddhyadinam Swarupam Vivinakti. The Vivinakti means Vivekam Karoti. So what he distinguishes, Buddhyadinam Swarupam, what is the nature of Buddhi? Well, etc. and nature of other things also. Well, such a person, Saha Tattvavit. So he is a knower of Tattva, he is knower of the truth of everything. Not Mithya means you are segregating me as telling us as a Mithya. Definitely what you say is Mithya essentially is Atma. That's how the names and forms become Mithya, etc. Anyway, so even to claim this Viparita Bhavana, etc. also is to identify with the mind only. So mind is a last Viparita Bhavana. You say I am a human being, I am this, that, etc. Right? I am a seer, etc. Well, that occurs in the mind. So definitely when you say I am seer, so you are identified with that thought, so which occurs in the mind. So that's a Viparita Bhavana. That's correct. But even the Viparita Bhavana is, the last Viparita Bhavana is I am the mind. There is a question of one thought that I am a seer, etc. That is there. I am a seer, I am knower, this, that, I am karta, I am bhokta. That's there in the mind. So, well, that is a Viparita Bhavana, I understand that. But then ultimate Viparita Bhavana is I am mind. So therefore, that has to go. I am mind. That has to go. You are the Sakshi, witness consciousness of the mind. Well, definitely. So that mind, etc. should be disclaimed. And so definitely then you are just witness consciousness, then you are free. So definitely moksha is something which does not depend upon any condition. Otherwise it's a conditional moksha, conditional freedom. And that is what people understand. Vedantins understand the freedom as a conditional freedom, really speaking. They say, man, my mind has no raga dvesha, when mind is all the time conducive to me, well, then I am free. Our mind has a good thoughts all the time. So what kind of thoughts Swamis have? That they generally ask. Yes, Swami is also depending upon the type of sattva, rajas, tamas. Their mind also is, you will say, this Swami looks very dull today. It may happen. Oh, he is also committing such a silly mistake, Swami. Oh, Swami, you are committing such a silly mistake. Even we can't think of. Yeah, that can happen. Mind is ultimately a product of sattva, rajas, tamas, maya. Triguna. This Triguna is there in Brahman, so that's how Brahman is Nirguna. Anyway, so basically this belongs to Maya. And Maya, well, definitely everything belongs to Maya, including mind. And Maya is Trigunatmika, and therefore this also is a mixture of three. And keeps changing. In equilibrium, well, it will dissolve. And then when there is no equilibrium, well, they arise. And in the arise, well, there is a karma and everything. So sometimes sattva and sometimes rajas. All this show go on, and this Sakshi consciousness just sees it, whole thing as non-separate from oneself. It all the time remains. And so I am just witness consciousness who is free from even mind. I am not the mind. Is a moksha. Therefore, my moksha does not depend upon the conditions of the mind. A unconditional freedom is the freedom. That's nature of oneself. If it is a conditional, it is not nature. If you say I am free because, then definitely you are not free. I am free Because I'm basically free. By nature I'm free. Oh, that I have understood. By nature, without depending upon anything else, by nature I am free. I am not bound by time, because by nature I am not bound by any place, space, time, and I am not bound by any object. That is the freedom. That is the nature I have understood. Unconditional freedom. Sahaeva muktaha. Vidyaranya says, that person alone is liberated person. Who says I am free because my mind has become now free from the ragadvesha. He is not free. For him, he is the mind. So mind is free. He says, I am free. And therefore, he says, I am mine. Therefore, he is not free. Iti evam nishvinishyaha. This is the conclusive teaching. Where? Vedanteshu, in Upanishads. Verse 55. Evam cha sati bandhasya kasyetyadi kutarkajaha vidambana drunam khandyaha khandanokti prakarataha. Well, this being so, there are other darshanas, regarding the nature of avidya and then bandha, moksha, etc. Well, they may present a logical question to a bondage and freedom, etc. Well, but this bondage and freedom, etc., they are not logically existent. So, not available for logic. So, you want to inquire logically, then you won't find them. Evam cha sati means this being so, bondage is also because of a lack of thinking. Bondage is purely a notion. I am bound is a notion. There is no bondage at all, which is born of a avidya. So anyway, so if you ask, they give an example that the person, who is searching of a darkness with the help of that Petromax. That is all Puja Swami, Chinmayanji used to give an example, and one Acharya has quoted that, the person who is searching of a darkness with the help of that Petromax, powerful light on the head. In wedding, in those days, they used to keep a Petromax in the night, that the whole procession goes. And, and then to the bridegroom place and etc. And so they had Petromax in the night when they go. There were no street lights, so they keep that. So, and then one of the person who was having that light, powerful light, Petromax, he asked to the main person, the head, where should I keep, this? So then that person said, wherever there is darkness, you keep it there. So he used to go along with, in search of the darkness. So he said, here there is a light, here there is a light, here there is a light. He doesn't find a darkness at all. So because he said, you keep it where there is darkness. No, but wherever he goes, there is a light. There is no darkness. So he thought, now this Petromax, why I am carrying this load? Petromax is not at all required. Let me go away. So darkness which won't remain when you inquire with the light. So bondage is also darkness, born of ignorance. Once you use a light, means of knowledge, it will disappear. You inquire with the words of the Shastra, right? Light, of course, coming through the teacher, and they are giving light all the time. And with those words, you are searching, where is this bondage? Where is this bondage? Etc. Anyway, you won't find bondage. So proof for bondage with the means of knowledge is like proving the darkness with the help of powerful light. That is how in Mandukya Karika, na nirodho, na chotpattihi, na bandho, na cha sadhaka. Right? Na mair mumukshata, na bandha, na sadhaka. Where is this mukti? Where is this bondage? Etc. This is pramana. Ah, it's a pramana, the means of knowledge, which is a light, gives knowledge. Anyway, so proof for bondage with means of knowledge, pramana, well, with the Shastra, is like proving the darkness with the help of a lamp. So don't ask proof. Pramana is proof. Don't ask proof for the bondage. Kasya bandha syat? He says, Kasya bandha syat? Who has the bondage? Vidambana kutarkajaha. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. Kutarkajaha. Well, it's a challenge or objection. Kutarkajaha means which is born of fallacious reasoning. What is born of fallacious reasoning? Who has bondage? We want a proof for the bondage. Well, this is not going to help. Lack of application of the means of knowledge is the cause of bondage. Till you bring the Shastra, there is a bondage. When you bring the Shastra, pramana, you won't find bondage. So just as the light cannot be used to prove darkness, because absence of light is the cause of the arrival of the darkness, same way here, well, definitely absence of a pramana, absence of the Shastra which throws the light on the nature of self, well, ignorance and the bondage cannot stand. So how can I bring that pramana and say, well, this bandha kasya syat, bandha belongs to whom? So, vidambana kutarkajaha, this kind of a question. Vidambana means a objection. Kutarkajaha, it's born of fallacious reasoning. Kutarka, tarkajaha means born of a logical reasoning. Oh, who has the bondage? We would like a logical proof for this, etc. It's like, who knows aham brahmasmi? They ask this question. Who knows aham brahmasmi? Well, does Atma know or Anatma knows? Who knows? Well, Atma cannot know. Atma is apramata. Atma is not a knower. Therefore, it cannot know. Anatma also cannot know because it's jada. And therefore, and even if Anatma, let's say, even if it is inert and it knows, then, well, what Anatma should say? I am Atma or I am Anatma? I am Anatma, it has to say. And therefore, ultimately, then there is no third entity. There is no third entity who says I know, basically. Aham brahmasmi, I am Brahman. There is no third entity to know that. Atma cannot know, Anatma cannot know. No, there is a third entity. That's what the mysterious entity, which itself cannot stand. The knower, basically, well, mysterious Chidavasa knows I am Brahma, I am Brahmasmi. And then, well, the Chidavasa says I am Brahmasmi, yeah. And then let me ask, who is Chidavasa? Gone. And therefore, moment you inquire, well, this whole mixture disappears. If such a question is asked, well, definitely, Dridam Khandya. So, it is criticized, negated, Khandanukti Prakaratah, by various methods which, well, are there in the Vedantic text about this. What is bondage, what is freedom, etc. A logical question, where is bondage, who has a bondage, and these all questions, well, has been negated. Where? In a Khandana Khanda Khadyam. There is a big, this is not for us, and is a Harsha Mishra has written that, which is full of reasoning, counter reasoning, etc. There, all these questions have been negated. But people, do they ask this false question? Yes, they ask the false question. Then what should we do? Give false answer. Verse 56. Vritte sakshitaya vritti pragabhavasya cha stitah bubutsayam tatha jñosmi ityabhata jnana vastunah. In a particular, these are the questions generally asked by other darshanacharya to the Vedantin, because we talk about this bondage and etc. And then they ask this question: who has the bondage, and who gains freedom, and who says I am free, and etc. etc. They give example also here. This is also quoted by one acharya here, that in a particular school, they give a story. First day of a mathematics teacher, and she wanted to check the logical power of the students. So then teacher asked to the students that my house is 10 kilometers away. What must be my age? Now, is there any connection? Right? Is there any connection? My house is 10 kilometers away. Then what must be my age? Assume. The student was very brilliant. So he replied in the same fashion. He said, you must be 50-year-old. Why? Generally, people are conscious of their age and their looks. So that person really, she was young, quite young. But the student said, you are 50-year-old. Teacher says, what is the logical reasoning you use? Student says, because you came as a mathematics teacher, today is your first day, we had a previous teacher, he was 25-year-old and he was a half crack. So I conclude that you are 50-year-old and fully illogical question by teacher, illogical answer by the student. This is what it is. That's how in Tarka Shastra, such a kind of answer is called Jati Uttaram. So, means that answer is illogical. Why? Why illogical answer? Because the question which was asked is illogical. What is the illogical question here? We would like to know who has a bondage. We would like to know who is free. We would like to know who says I am free. These are illogical questions. We will give illogical answers. Anyway, and where we want to know all these answers, refer to Khanda Khadyam of a Harsha Charita. Anyway, and so here in 56, 57, 58, well, especially in 57, 58, well, he's quoting a Shiv Purana shloka, and it talks about this Kutasthatma, and naturally the Kutasthatma has been called as a Shiva, etc. In Mandukya Karika, Shantam Shivam, the Shiva is nothing but this Turiya, Kutasthatma. Anyway, so we'll discuss these verses in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.